Hello, friends. Welcome. I am Ananda Rose. Thank you for joining me. And thank you, Lynn Drewett. Lynn is with us today. We're doing another Vite Bites session. How are you, Lynn?
I'm going great. Thank you, Rose. Always very, very excited to be here and to share my information. Thank you for having me again. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Always welcome. I like doing this. I'm not a professional interviewer, but it gives me the it gives me the idea that I can be. Good learning for us, right?
Absolutely. We all learn every
We all
day.
learn. Absolutely. Right. Today we're talking about zinc. Before we go to zinc, I would like to read the disclaimer because we're meant to do that. Okay, our disclaimer, which I'm hoping will be read by Lynn next time because it's all about her. Lynn Drewett provides guidance on vitamin intake. However, she emphasizes that she's not a medical doctor. The information shared in this session is intended solely for informational purposes to encourage thoughtful consideration of options for supporting personal well-being. This discussion does not replace professional medical or wellness advice. We strongly encourage you to consult with qualified healthcare professionals before making any changes to your health regime. Always consider past, present, and future medical guidance from licensed professionals. Well, that's the disclaimer. Thank you. And today I made a few mistakes with it.
That's okay. I'm sure
Mm.
I'll probably say some mistakes too when I read it. So thank you, Rose.
Lynn, I'm looking at your notes, and it's a shame we can't put it up on screen because we are today doing our recording through the iPhone and the Zoom app. And I was, not as prepared to share screen, but one of these days we'll get that right with the technology. The desktop has decided it's sleeping today, so it hasn't turned on. So hence the reason for this. Right, zinc. You've got the title here saying zinc, an essential mineral you are probably overlooking. Right, what is zinc?
Okay, so zinc is a trace mineral that our bodies need a lot of. And it's one of the smallest minerals that has a huge impact on our health, whether you have a deficiency or whether you have the right amount of zinc in the body. So it's responsible for over 300 enzyme reactions in the body. So it's very, very important for us.
Right. And I'm just looking at your notes again, and wow, 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 wow. There's a lot of deficiencies if you don't have zinc in your diet, right?
Correct.
Well, the deficiencies like seem to go on a lot. Okay, so let's talk about the deficiencies because that like really grabbed my eyes. So lack of zinc in the body. What does it cause us to be deficient with, or sorry, what does the deficiency present itself as?
Okay, so if you're in a position where you have very little taste in the mouth, if your smell is not like it used to be, you have mood swings that are out of control, and mouth ulcers is another big one. A lot of people get
Yeah.
lots of mouth ulcers. Are really good indications that you're deficient in zinc.
Wow, 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 wow. Just looking at your list, I mean, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, wow, this could be the answer for me, in a big way, right? Because you're talking about hair loss, skin changes, um, loss of taste or smell,
Hmm.
and appetite changes or unexplained weight loss. I mean,
Yes.
that's like, wow, some of us have experienced a lot of that in recent times, and it just suddenly makes you think, oh my gosh, is this what I'm missing? So
Mm.
yeah, good um, information. This is what I think. Wow. Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Solon, where do we get our zinc? What food sources provide zinc for us?
Okay. So top of the list will probably be oysters if you're an oyster lover. A lot of your seafood has high levels of zinc in it. Red meat, going down probably your green vegetables and a lot of foods like your nuts and seeds have zinc in it, and not huge amounts, but a balanced diet is what's
Mm,
going to bring in your zinc levels.
mm,
Another one, which is very important, that's pepitas. They're a little powerhouse of zinc.
right.
So you can put pepitas in as a snack or on your salads or whatever,
So
crush them up.
it's a little pepper.
Pumpkin seed.
Oh, pepitas are pumpkin seeds.
Yeah,
Oh,
pumpkin seeds. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
They're really lovely, roasted and put in salads
Mm,
and things. Oh, just munching on them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Very high in zinc.
So pumpkin seeds are like really reasonably priced too. They're not this
Mm,
expensive thing, and they're just delicious roasted. I love them
yeah,
roasted.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. And chickpeas I see on this list.
Yes, yes.
Oats, quinoa, rice. And rice is an everyday thing that we eat. So we're getting, yeah. So when I think about that, my question would be: is do we have? What about the level of zinc that we have on a day that we require to have on a daily basis?
Well, once again, you probably need to analyze just how much of the foods that you're taking do have zinc in them. And if it equates to about 40 milligrams for females and 45 milligrams for males, then you're doing okay. And of course, with any vitamin of what you're taking, it's always good to get it from the food sources before you need to supplement. But if you're, not in that category, well, it's best to supplement because it is a little powerhouse. It's so, so essential.
Yeah. Hmm. So let's talk now about the benefits. I know we talked about the deficiencies first.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go through the benefits because, um, I mean, one would think, oh, that's actually self-explanatory, but no, I think we need to talk about it. So what does zinc do for us?
For the biggest thing that probably people know that zinc does for us is our immunity. But it's also because it's stored in our bones and tissues, it's very good for, in an indirect way, of managing pain and inflammation. Because, as I said, it sets off 300 chain reactions in the body. It gets in our cells, it's as far as our cellular maintenance and that, eye health, heart health, everywhere, our blood. Yeah, there isn't really a part of the body that wouldn't benefit from zinc in some way.
Right, right. Okay. So I see that when you say it aids growth and development, so this is very
Mm,
important in terms of pregnant women and children,
correct.
adolescents, because we're still all in that physical. All of that is about physical development. You know, it's in the body's development, right? And you talked about the inflammation, and it plays a key role in collagen synthesis, which then does tie back to inflammation and the cartilage between the bones, the ligaments, all that, right?
Correct. Correct.
Um, so we can also delay our healing if we have a deficiency. Healing skin, like you said earlier, wound healing. But if you even wound healing, if you had surgery or things like that, not just having injuries but having surgery. So it's very important to have that in the diet. Um, Something interesting that you said here, and contributes to hormone production and metabolism.
Hmm.
So people who have issues with thyroid and insulin, but also if you feel like you have a slow metabolism, because
Hmm.
sometimes we just have slow metabolism. Not doesn't have to be that we diagnosed with this thing of thyroid hormone issues or whatever. So this is obviously going to aid if you have zinc. It's going to aid that thyroid function, but also help your metabolism.
Correct. Yes, because when it comes to the key support, your metabolism, because zinc is absorbed into the lower bowel and it's also stored in the liver and the pancreas. Um, the metabolism and how it's affected by the lack or enough of zinc is just so important as well. So, with our metabolism, of course, it all comes down to what we've always talked about, and that's diet. And once again, if you're the kind of person that eats a lot of junk food, highly processed food, ultra processed food, things that you know that, you know, and are not good for your body, zinc will be missing in all of that. So you need to really eat a wholesome range of food. Like for me, I don't eat meat, so but I eat pepitas and other things that will nuts and that type of thing, seeds that have a high amount of zinc in them. But I also supplement too. So because that's not enough for my age. Yeah, so it's really listening to your body, and if things are just not feeling right, if your skin's not looking nice, and if you've got fallout from your hair, and your immune system is just not firing very well, you're getting cold after cold after cold. And, there's lots of signs that you're a zinc deficiency, and the things like your taste and your smell are a big thing. Um, that they're all signs the body's telling you that I'm craving zinc. And that's when you need to either supplement or just look at the foods that you're eating and get more in your diet.
Mm, wow. Interesting. Very interesting. So Lynn, I'm going through the notes, and one of the things I've noticed here is talking about may reduce risk of age-related diseases. Can you
Yes.
explain that a little bit? And I know
So,
it's saying may, it's not saying it's definite, or
yes,
maybe that's in progress of discovery or whatever. Like, they still like learning about it. Who knows? But yeah.
yes. So, as we age, we lose a lot of minerals. And once again, if you're not supporting your body with what you're losing, and as we age, our body's metabolism works less and less. So that's where you need to hone in and see, well, what do I need to improve on that? I mean, zinc is accompanied with C. Zinc and C together is your collagen production. And, it's just getting a little bit more educated on what your body needs, as what it how it performs better as we age.
Yeah.
And your metabolism is a big part of this, and if you've got the right amount of zinc in the cells, your ATP, your protein, and all of that antioxidants, and it fires better, and your skin then shows it. So you'll have supple skin, you'll have less wrinkles. Yeah. So
Mm,
there's a whole chain of things that happen there with anti-aging. But I think it's common knowledge now that we know zinc and C is very, very important for our skin
hmm.
in many ways, and our immunity.
Yeah. Yeah. And definitely for the hair loss
Yes,
and all that, it's very important that we have the right amounts of it. And you were saying what the right amounts are: 40 milligrams for women, 45 for men.
correct.
Um, yeah, as we're speaking, I'm almost thinking that we need to probably one day start recommending balanced diets. What is an idea of a balanced diet for somebody? Maybe this is something we should start thinking about doing in future, like talking about a meal and saying, oh, today this is about the meal we are talking about. And that's a balanced diet we recommend.
Well, that's a pretty big topic to talk about, but in a nutshell, let's talk about the foods that we should omit, and that will probably narrow down what a balanced diet is. So, as I mentioned, the ultra processed foods, junk food, I'm even going to go as far as medication, alcohol, cigarettes, all of those types of things are going to have an effect on your mineral absorption, not just zinc, but just everything. So if you're aware of those factors that need to be omitted, then you're leveling the playing field of what you're eating. So what I mean by that is that if you're eating lots of vegetables, doesn't necessarily have to be organic, but it's good if you can. But long as you're getting the nutritional value from a broad range of more vegetables and fruits, because your fruits are very high in sugar. Cutting out sugar in herbal teas, not so much coffee, probably doing away with too much dairy. A little bit of dairy is okay. But I think this would probably be a nice time to mention maybe we should do an alkaline Vite Bite, Rose, and probably talk about getting more balanced out in that area too, because it's a big topic. So
Yes.
I think today, if the audience, you look at those real high risk factors that I mentioned, so that's the alcohol, smoking, medication, ultra processed foods, your flour, your seed oils is something else that needs to be removed and go to olive oil. Um, yeah, so they would be the ones that will stop your mineral absorption from happening in your body.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Lynn, what is it? Have I asked you everything? Now I think about this and I'm thinking, have I asked you everything? And I don't have
Mhm.
my script. Do you think we've
That's
said
okay.
everything about zinc? Do you think we've said everything about zinc?
Um, just one little thing I'd like to add.
Of course.
So if everyone out there watching this thinks, okay, well, my zinc levels are okay, well, that's great. Well done. Kudos to you. But for the people that you think, oh, well, I do have a few issues, I'm going to go and buy some zinc. Don't go for the cheap zinc. Get a high absorbency zinc. And there's a few different types. So follow, so your chelated zinc and your diglycinate form of zinc are your good ones. But just don't go for anything cheap, and maybe do a little bit of research yourself and find out what the better absorbing zincs are. So if it says high absorbing on your label when you're purchasing it, it usually means that it's a better absorbing zinc, and you'll get a better bang for your zinc tablet. Yeah, but I encourage everyone to do it through your diet if you can.
Yeah. Right. Anything else, Lynn, before we go?
No, I think that's all, Rose. I think I've talked too much.
No, I think it was, I don't think you talked too much. I think it was the right amount of talking. Well, friends, thank you so much for watching. And hey, do remember to ask questions in the comments. Lynn is available for private consultation. I will put the email address in the description. And if you want to have a chat with her privately and get some advice on your well-being and your vitamin support, and in conjunction with your diet. And of course, why it's important to have a private consult, I believe, is because we all have individual situations and we have medication we might be taking and all of that. And you just don't want to go with what's general. Um, it's always very individually tailored. Your private session is what I think, right? A personal session. So I'm encouraging people to do that because I think it's becoming vital that we understand our bodies and what it needs, and also that good food is being taken off the table for other things. And those things that we had naturally every day and never really thought about it is now becoming a thing of, firstly, it's food's becoming really expensive. And
Mm.
that's one thing. And then the other thing is the food that is bad for you is quite reasonably priced. So where we live, that's the case, right? But good food is not. So we need to
Mhm.
be conscious of that, and see how we can find ways to function without having to compromise our health, but also manage it with the amount of money we have to spend on it, and just making sure we're taken care of. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Rose.
Yes, we'll catch you next time, everyone. Bye. Mhm.